Top 3 questions I get asked on this channel. What does the Amazon relay load board look like? How do I book loads? And when I book those loads, how do I stay so local? These are the relay rates for Saturday, March 23rd.
Let's get into those SoCal relay rates.
All right, let's get into this. As far as chapters go, gonna look at recommended loads up front. We'll take a look at some 53, we'll look at 26, check on spot capacity, see if there's any blocks, and then Boogie Badman has requested that we take a look at New Orleans, so that's gonna be our pick city for the week. So let's go ahead and jump into it here, recommended. And if you do want your city to appear in one of these, please let me know. I've said before, I'll say it again. Treat me like I'm stupid. Say, hey, look, I want to see this in relay rates. If you just say, like, San Diego 26-foot equipment, I'm going to make you a load board video because I'm going to think that's what you're asking for. Just let me know in the relay rates. Or in the relay rates. Let me know in the comments. Hey, I want to see this in long format. I want to see you do this, you know, on relay rates. Something like that. Something that lets me know I'll put your name in the running. Let's jump into these recommended here. Now, you know, the fact that already recommended for me in San Diego, where I historically have booked most of my loads, the fact that they're recommending loads up in Redlands, Fontana. I don't think we're going to spend very long on San Diego today. It's been a rough end of the week for Amazon. Let's just see here. Yeah, Redlands. Are there any local loads here? Local to me. Jurupa Valley. Here's a San Diego. That's a 26-foot box truck. San Diego going to Mission Viejo. One pick, one stop. That leaves on Sunday at 1:20 in the morning, $3.95 a mile, $3.62 payout. San Diego going up to Beaumont, 3 stops, 26-foot box truck as well. One pick, 2 stops. They've got you going from San Diego, picking up at San 5, heading up to Murrieta, and then dropping off at Beaumont, so at least it's kind of on the way. $2.91 payout on that one. San 5 going to Chino. 7 stops though. You got to be aware of that. Those numbers on the side. I mean, those 7 stops. I don't know for you box truck guys. I've never run a box truck, but I imagine 7 stops is kind of eating up a lot of time. $2.26 a mile, $5.79 payout. Starting at San 5, which is a Amazon facility, ending at CN05, which is an Amazon facility. ONT9 is the stop before, and then I'm willing to bet they probably have you going to like 4 or 5 different post office locations. Not a lot on here. I mean, some 26-foot stuff. We'll get into those in a minute. Those are the recommended. Let's take a look at 53. Save searches. I have a search for that. ℕ𝕖𝕨 power only. So, turn that auto refresh off. Poway, 4 stops, ending at San 3, $3.04 a mile. Let's just see where they got you going here. So, Poway down to San 5, Sandway to DSD 4. Do we have a new location in San Diego I haven't been to yet? I'm going to have to look that up. I've never been to DSD 4. 5670 Kearney Mesa Road. I'm going to have to look that up when we're done. I've never been to DSD 4. I thought I'd been everywhere here. That must be new. Yeah, but 4 stops. Minimum, I mean, you figure they say it's going to take 4 hours and 4 minutes. Even though it's all Amazon facilities, I believe that. 1 pick, 2 stops, ending up in Tucson. San 3 going to MAZ2. Which is in Tucson, and then TUS5, I'm betting is Tucson as well. So yeah, taking a loaded trailer to Tucson and then running an empty trailer 14 miles down the street to another facility. But I mean, look at these rates. Everything in San Diego, $3.04, $1.45, $1.88, $1.45, $1.58, $57, $2.28. I mean, there's one load on the board that crosses that $3 a mile threshold. I would say no to today. Not a lot happening with 53. Let's look at those 26 here in Southern California here. SD box truck. Let's start this by, let's just look at start times nearest just to get an idea. So soonest one to leave is that one we saw earlier going up to Mission Viejo. $3.95 a mile, 1 pick, 1 stop. I like that. $3.62 total payout. San Diego, 1 pick, 3, or total of 3 stops, 1 pick, 2 stops. Ending up in Thousand Palms, San 5 to Yucca Valley, and then in Thousand Palms. I know I've looked it up before. If you end up out in those desert communities, Beaumont's like your next closest connecting load from there, if you can make the times work. Here's one San Diego ending in Beaumont, $2.91 a mile, 1 pick, 2 stops, starting at San 5, going to Los Alamos Road in Murrieta, and then ending up in Beaumont. So let's just see what top money is for box trucks right now in San Diego. Price per distance highest. There's a little San Diego Valley Center, I'm betting. Yeah, Valley Center. 1 pick, 2 stops to Bernardo Center, and then ending up in Valley Center. They're paying, I hate it when that black box shows up here. $4.17 a mile. I snuck past it and saw it here. San Diego going to Escondido. That's not till Tuesday at 120. $4.08 a mile, $210 payout. San Diego going to Mission Viejo. We got too many missions around here. Mission Valley, Mission Viejo. I don't know where they're talking about. $3.95 a mile, $3.62 payout. San Diego going to Valley Center again. That one's at 110 on Thursday. That other one going to Valley Center was at 120 on Saturday. So, like typical box truck stuff, it looks like they send these same loads to these same places every night, or most nights at about the same time. Let's just see if blocks have come back online here. I have a search in here for SoCal blocks. I had not seen a block for like the first 2.5 months. I've seen a couple. Let's see here. SoCal blocks, there we go. There are 3. Historically, I mean 2022, 2023, there's been 125 minimum. The fact that there's 3 is kind of This is the site that always has them, that SBD1. Occasionally, there was like a month window in there at the end of 2023 where we had blocks in San Diego. Usually this SBD1 is where they show up at. How these work, you, if you're not familiar with blocks, they say, so this is a, let's see here, starting on Wednesday at 12, ending on Friday. So this is a 37-hour block. That's going to be 2 14-hour days of on duty, 11 hours of driving with an 11-hour break, so you can get your 10-hour rest there in the middle. So it's 37 hours. You get 11 hours off basically. You're going to be working. I've done prior content on the breakdown of blocks. I mean, some people love them. I like to see that price be a little bit more. They pay 48.5 cents a mile for every mile they ask you to drive. The problem with that is like, you know, a truck like mine and what I pay for fuel here in California, that 48.5 cents a mile doesn't actually cover my fuel costs. So I'm, you know, for every mile they ask me to drive, I mean, I've calculated it out, I basically lose a quarter for every mile they ask me to drive. It's not intended to cover 100% of the fuel back. It's just, it's designed to kind of put some of it back. Or I guess in some states, if your fuel's cheaper, maybe you can make money off of that. But definitely want to keep in mind, I've never done a block, but I mean, some people love them. I choose not to do them. That base rate would probably have to get up to like $1,700–1,800 for me to even consider it. But not a lot of blocks. They've got one Wednesday at 12, Wednesday at 10, and then Thursday at 7. So the fact that there's only 3, that's not great. Let's look at that spot capacity here. Last night, San 5 going to Tucson, 426 miles, $1,100. This is your one and only chance to ask for more money to negotiate for more money with Amazon. So that was that left last night. This was San 5 to San 3 and then to Tucson. Kind of wonder where the local work's gone. They've actually gotten smart with this. I don't blame Amazon for this at all. They used to pay like $200 to move those trailers from San 3 to San 5. Now they're just bundling them onto other trips. So I guarantee you that's taking an empty from San 5 to San 3, picking up a loaded at San 3, and then taking it to Tucson. Yeah, but in the past, that San 3 to San 5 move was a minimum $200 move. Yesterday, 26-foot box truck, Fresno to Newark. It was 181.3 miles, $304 payout. Again, it's your time to negotiate with them. Yesterday, this was 53-foot DSF7, ending up in Aurora, Colorado. 1,310 miles for $3,000 was their starting offer. And then LGB7, this is confusing too. It ends up in Tennessee. 2,006 miles. They do not put a price on here. They just say it's 1 pick, 3 stops. So that's when you see all those confusing numbers on there, like Lowe's and stuff, I guarantee you're going to a third-party site. And let's just check out this last one here. 53-foot from LAX, ending in Visalia. 205 miles, $800. Let's go into, so like I said, if you want to see your city on a relay rates, let me know in the comments. Say, hey, I want to see this. For Boogie Badman, he requested New Orleans, so let's look at New Orleans. Just gonna change this out. We're gonna look at 53, and you don't need to let me know if you want it on here. You don't need to let me know what equipment. I'm gonna look at both. New Orleans, Louisiana, and so within 75 miles, there's 13 loads. Let's just sort this by price per distance highest. Kenner, going to North Little Rock, Arkansas, $2.02 a mile, 5 total stops, 1 pick, 4 stops, $2.02 a mile. Here's one, St. Rose, going to Karen Crow. Hopefully I'm not killing that. $1.78 a mile, 1 pick, 1 stop. St. Rose to Karen Crow again, $1.78 a mile. Another St. Rose going to Karen Crow, $1.78 a mile, $1.78 a mile, $1.78. I know they had asked me to expand this radius out. Let me just see if we expand this out to 100. So at 75 gave us 13, 100 gives us 26, 150 miles gives us 58. Now we're kind of starting to see like a bigger piece of the puzzle. And then price per distance. So it looks like Port Allen has probably the top money coming out of it. $6.22 a mile, $3.54 payout. But what you got to consider is when it starts at 1 and ends at 1. See how these are all stop 1, stop 2. See how they just alternate? So you're from BTR 9, which is in Port Allen, Louisiana. That's filled in circle. You're taking a loaded trailer, dropping it off at DLB2. Now I'm willing to bet DLB2 back to BTR 9 is going to be empty. Yep, non-filled in circle there is empty. Then back to BTR 9, you're picking up another loaded, taking that to DLB2, and then at DLB2, you're bringing back an empty. The problem, and this isn't all the time, just my experience would tell me this, the problem when I see a load like this is, when I see like 5 stops and you see the $1 per mile, and let's say I book this, and right now in this moment I'm thinking like, okay, cool, I got a $354 payout. If they start canceling legs, if Amazon says we're going to cancel this leg, that can reduce your payout. So I'm cautious. I personally wouldn't book this load just because they fooled me once on it, and you know, kind of shame on them. I rarely let things get to a shame on me situation. If they come in and they say like, yeah, there was originally going to be 5 stops, but we only need you to do 3. It's hard to calculate out exactly how much, but they'll reduce your payout on that. I don't think that that's right, and I don't let myself get put into that situation. So you got to be careful on loads like that. Another Port Allen, ending in Karen Crow. This one is a, let's see, starting at Port Allen, heading over to Abbeville. If I'm butchering these city names, I'm just not familiar with them. I'm sorry. Abbeville, Louisiana. And then ending up in Karen Crow. Kenner to North Little Rock, $2.02 a mile. Theodore, is that Alabama? Yep, Theodore, Alabama, going to Shepherdsville, Kentucky. See on this, see how there's a lot of, see how it goes like MOB5? MOB5 is like an Amazon acronym. That like makes sense. When they have all these letters and numbers on there, that for sure is a third-party site. So the fact that you're going to, starting at an Amazon site, stop 2 is third-party, stop 3 is third-party, and stop 4 is at an Amazon site. I'm betting this takes 2 third-party sites, minimum 7 to 8 hours. Let's see what they blocked it out for. Oh God, they blocked it out for 1 day, 3 hours. So yeah, I mean, the rate's not great, and then to consider that it's going to take a day and 3 hours for $1,400, not for me. Karen Crow to Karen Crow. This has got you going over to Houston, $1.79 a mile. Let's just see. Start time nearest. Yeah, see, here's one that starts 17:43. So this is, I'm thinking with the time change, this starts in like 20 minutes. They're offering it at $1.68 a mile. I will say right now with Amazon, since loads haven't been where they should be, like the load count, it has affected rates. And I mean, you can tell that, like I can tell you with 100% certainty, there's no urgency on this load. This load, if it's 321 here, I think it's 521 there. If this load leaves in like less than 30 minutes and it's at $1.68 a mile, they're just gonna keep bumping it back and bumping it back and bumping it back without bumping up the price like they usually do. The ones that they start to bump the price on, those are the ones to watch. Anyway, that's enough of the 53. Let's look at box trucks. All box trucks, 26 and 16 foot. Okay, so 495, let's scale that down a little bit and just see how many. So here's something to keep in mind. No box trucks within 75 miles of New Orleans. If we expand that out to 100 miles, kind of like to start small and grow. Let's see, so within 100 miles, but keep in mind that since there was no less than 75, these are all going to be within 75 to 100 miles of New Orleans. There's now 77. Let's just see what the price per distance highest on that is. So Port Allen looks like it's today, right now, getting the top money. And again, this changes. The one thing I hate about these load board videos, me doing a 7 to 15 minute load board video is not indicative of how the market behaves. I mean, if you really wanted to know how this works, you'd have to sit down with it and probably watch it for about a week. I mean, I know when I started, I was about 2-3 weeks, but that's what I did. But I made a video once on like why I think these load board videos are ineffective. I provide them. I hope they provide some sort of value to you. But I can tell you, as somebody who does this, looking at a load board for 60 seconds, looking at a load board for less than 30 minutes is, I hope it provides insight, but it wouldn't be that valuable to me. I need to see like more of a long-term view of it, and nobody wants to watch relay rates for 12 hours a day. I don't want to make a relay rates that's 12 hours. All right, so let's just see here in New Orleans. Let's expand that out. So at 100 miles, we had 77 results. Let's expand it out to 150 miles. There's the jump. So that goes from, what was that, less than 100? My short-term memory shot. Yeah, so 100 miles gives us 77 results. 150 miles, if you're willing to go that forward, now it gives us about 500 results. And then price per distance highest. Here's these short little trips like Theodore to Ocean Springs, Mississippi. $4.95 a mile, one pick, one stop. I like those. Here's another one pick, 5 stops. So I mean, here, compare these top 2 loads. One's a one pick, 2 stop. $4.95 a mile for $208. Would I like to see it pay out more? Yeah, but then compare that to the one below it. 5 stops for $14 less. It's like, no, I'm gonna take the one that's just one pick, 2 stops. That one's not until Wednesday. This one's on Monday. Theodore to Gulfport, Mississippi. One pick, 2 stops. Willing to bet that these addresses are post office locations. Let's see here. Theodore, Alabama. A lot coming out of Theodore. Theodore to, let's just see here. We're down to $3.75 a mile. Biloxi. One pick, 3 stops. Starting out in Theodore, Alabama. Dropping down to Mobile. How would you pronounce this? Gautier? Gosher, Mississippi? You can let me know in the comments how bad I am at pronouncing these. And then Biloxi, Mississippi. Let's see here. A lot coming out of, so it looks like Theodore and Port Allen have the bulk of the 26-foot market. Let's just see those loads that were closest. Let's sort this by deadhead shortest, just to take a look at those. Deadhead shortest to New Orleans was still Port Allen. So yeah, Port Allen 326, 3 stops. Port Allen 3 stops, 217 a mile. Port Allen 303 a mile. To Sunset, Louisiana, to Youngsville, Louisiana. Port Allen going one pick, 2 stops. Starting in Port Allen, going to Opelousas. I'm terrible. Opelousas, Louisiana. Columbia, Louisiana. Let's see here. Port Allen going to Alexandria to Boyce, Louisiana. I'm almost nervous to click on these because I don't know how to say some of the cities. Gotta click on this one. There's a place called Eros, Louisiana. That's good to know. Starting in Port Allen, going to West Monroe, ending in Eros, Louisiana. So that's like the 26 stuff. Yeah, so if you want to see your city on one of these, I'm happy to do it for you. Let's pick next time's winner. I have on my phone, I started a spreadsheet of everybody who's requested one of these. I've got 5 people. Let's shoot over to Google here. Add a tab. Let's go random number generator. How many did I have? 5? Yep, 5. Alright, so I need a random number between 1 and 5. Generate. One is Mark Holmes, Seattle. I'll do yours on relay rates next. What am I doing today? I've got about 6 more hours to kill on the 34-hour reset. Kind of keeping an eye on a couple loads, but I got a fresh clock starting tonight, and I'm going to see what I can make it do.